Welcome to the Rich Feet Podcast with Dr. Tanisha Richmond. This podcast is sponsored by the Richmond Foot and Ankle Clinic, where they specialize in happy feet. Each episode highlights the best of Dr. Richmond's radio show, providing bite-sized clips of advice. Let's jump right into the show.
You are listening to the real rhythm of the city, AM 1210 and FM 102.3. It is Saturday. Yes, and you might say, that music is a little early. Yes, we're about a week early, but you know why? It's Christmas next week. Dr. Tanisha Richmond is with us today for Footsteps for Life. And Footsteps for Life can be heard here on WDAO on the fourth Saturday of the month. But because of Christmas, we're going to do it today. And we are excited to have live in our studios with us today our foot and ankle specialist, Dr. Tanisha Richmond. Good afternoon.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
And good morning.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. Yes, so we're on afternoon now.
How are you?
I am doing well. I'm doing well.
It is an exciting Saturday, and you always have such great information to share with our listeners, and we're excited because it is the season.
Yeah, it is the season for giving and living and remembering your year you've been through and hopefully a better year next year.
Okay, so we are live here on WDAO AM 1210 and FM 102.3, and you have a special guest with us today.
Yes, I have Miss Whitney Barkley. I'm going to let her introduce herself and tell you everything she does. And then we're going to have a conversation because she also is now helping me as well with my marketing, with my practice. So Whitney, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, or I should say good morning. That I like the good morning with the tea. Add a little extra sauce to it. I love it. So I just want to quickly introduce myself. Hello to everyone who is tuning in. My name is Whitney Barkley. For those of you who are in the Dayton area, you may know me as the director of the Greater West Dayton Incubator. I am also the owner of a company called Speakerazzi, which handles content marketing and training. And then I am also the author of the children's book, Hey Black Girl. So I do a few things. I'm probably missing some things, but those are the things that are at least in my purview right now.
That's it?
For now.
For now?
For now.
Today? So I'd like to give a little introduction on how I met Whitney. Actually, I am on West 3rd Street and I saw the Entrepreneur Center actually on the TV, and I kept coming down, and I just walked in one day, I think, and talked to you and got scheduled. So explain, what am I doing? Because I come, was it once a month? What is that?
Yes. So you come to something called the business clinic. So business clinics are opportunities for entrepreneurs to come in and get one-on-one support for maybe just a problem that they're going through with their business, or maybe just some strategy, just in terms of what they're looking for to really shape their business. So those are 50-minute intervals. So we have entrepreneurs who come throughout the day. They're usually on the last Fridays of the month from 11 to 7 at 1105 West 3rd Street, right across from the West Social Tab.
So if they wanted to sign up for that, is there a phone number? Is there an email they need to call?
Absolutely. They can go to our website at thegwdi.com and join our mailing list. We usually send out an alert for the business clinics 3 weeks in advance, so you're able to sign up and get your spot.
And is it free or is there a cost?
It is free. It is absolutely free for entrepreneurs.
Okay. And what is the definition of an entrepreneur?
An entrepreneur is someone who, well, first of all, I believe an entrepreneur is someone who has the spirit. They have the spirit for problem solving. They want to solve a problem that they know that people are having, and they're someone who's innovative. So they're always looking for creative ways to solve problems. And to me, they just happen to make money and profit. My philosophy of an entrepreneur is that if you can always solve a problem, then you'll always make money.
So, but do they have to be like set up as far as having like an LLC or tax ID,
No,
or
so
they?
when it comes to the Greater West Dayton Incubator, they're able to come in. So they can come in as a brand new business. So if you're a startup business and you don't have your setup or anything with the Secretary of State, we're able to help you with that. And you can also be an established business as well. So we work with really a wide range of businesses. Most people come to us typically within the first couple of years of their business, but we work with established businesses as well.
So also I went to one of your workshops. It was at Central State West. Now that was through the Urban League.
Yes, yes, yep. So
Can you tell us a little bit about that workshop and what was that workshop all
oh
about?
yeah, so I was really excited about that workshop. I had an opportunity to work with the the Greater Miami Valley Urban League of Southwest Ohio, and they had me talk about how to leverage AI. So AI is a hot topic. So if you've been under a rock, artificial intelligence is really the new boom. It's really just in so many words, artificial intelligence is a trained system that relies on data sets to help you make tasks a little bit easier. So think about things like writing an email. Whereas, before it would maybe take you an hour to think about the content that you want to put out, but now it can literally spit it out within seconds with the right prompting. So I had an opportunity to speak to entrepreneurs through the Urban League to talk about AI, its benefits, and how they were able to use it using platforms like ChatGPT.
Yeah, it was a very intense workshop.
It wasn't that bad.
For us non-computer people, me and my colleague were there, and we was like, we just gonna hire her to do it, which I did. So you're working with me now, and we're working on working on my websites, my Facebook, and actually working on the podcast and different things. So, what brought you into this field?
So my background is in media, believe it or not. So I am a graduate of Wilberforce University. I studied mass media communications. And so when I was growing up, it was either I'm going to be a teacher or I'm going to be a journalist. And I've been fortunate enough to pursue both paths in life, just in different occasions. So for me, media was something that was always important because I believe stories are transformative. I've loved the way that when you watch television, you can, invoke some sort of emotion, right? You're able to feel something. And I love journalists because they made people feel. So it made me pretty excited to get into it. And then later on, after I studied media, I was introduced to marketing, and marketing super fascinated me because, again, it's all about psychology. Like, how do you make people do certain things? What are people's triggers? What gets them to buy? So storytelling and psychology, like all of the things were interesting to me. And so ultimately that led me to starting Speakerazi. I actually started another business before. It was a business called Barter Babes. I wanted to teach female entrepreneurs how to barter services, especially in the early stages where they didn't have any money. But I couldn't quite get the business model right. So, I mean, that business failed for me, but I work with the business coach. She's like, you have all this talent with media. You know how to put all this stuff together. It takes you like seconds. Why aren't you doing anything with it? And so that's when I decided to start a business. And so I've been going pretty strong since.
So say as a new entrepreneur and they need help with like their social media, their SEO and all these different platforms, how could they reach out to you? Could they reach out to you at where you are with UD or your business? How would they reach out to you for that?
So for things with UD, like if people are in the starting stages of their business, like, setting up their LLC, if they're looking for business strategy, I definitely always try to guide them towards the Greater West Dayton Incubator. But for those businesses who are a little bit more established, and if you're someone who's not necessarily trying to do it yourself, you need to hire someone, then I would definitely say Speakerazi is a great opportunity. But for those businesses who are starting, who are typically doing things by themselves, they may not have a budget. The Greater West Dayton Incubator is a great start, as well as many other partners that we have inside of our ecosystem.
What's some of those other partners?
So we have the Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce, Launch Dayton, the Entrepreneur Center, the Miami Valley Urban League. There is just a number of other people who are offering business support services in the area. Dayton Metro Library. So a ton of people are offering business support services. So, our job, if we can't do it in-house, we always try to find someone who's a partner who may be able to help you along the way. So, if you don't know where to start, definitely hop into the incubator. We would definitely point you in the right direction of the right partners who's able to assist you.
So you're just there like one day a month. Is there somewhere where you're always at?
So, well, that's just the business clinic. So people can come to the incubator at any time throughout the month. They just have to set an appointment. So if you go to our website and fill out our form, then we will reach out to you to actually create a one-on-one appointment. So you're not restricted to just those 1 day a week or 1 month, 1 day a month workshops, but you are able to come as long as it's appointment based.
And the website again for the
GWDI.com. There's also open office hours on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
at the what's the address again?
1105 West 3rd Street.
Okay. Across from the
The
food
West
court.
Social Tap, yeah,
Yeah,
right across from the food hall.
food court. What else do I want to ask? So, when you did your workshop, you showed us Chat GPT, then you showed us Canva. And we drew you typed in things and it drew pictures of someone with a unicorn going through the grocery store. Right, someone riding a unicorn and what it was an owl.
I had to think with something random to see if it was really like.
And it did it. So for someone who's just trying to learn this stuff, learn how to use these platforms, what would you suggest they do? Should they be like going to YouTube? Should they be doing podcasts? Is there somewhere they can go to maybe just start?
Well, a lot of these resources actually have starting tutorials on the website. So, that's one of the biggest things that I think people overlook. Most websites, they want to be successful. They want users to maximize the platform. So typically they will have some sort of tutorial or how-tos. Of course, YouTube is a great place to go, but if you're looking to leverage something like OpenAI, which is ChatGPT does have a very comprehensive set of instructions on their website that can show you. But if you're more of a hands-on person, I would definitely say YouTube. That is one of my goals this year, is to put out more how-to content, because I know a lot of this stuff sometimes is like, oh my gosh, like it's overwhelming.
Yes.
So my goal is to try to make it as simple as possible. So that's something that I plan to do in the new year, especially more content around AI. And AI is tricky because it's changing. Like we're literally in the beginning stages of it's almost like the internet, but like even better than the internet. It's almost starting over. So, the changes are happening rapidly. So I would just say, just make sure that you stay connected to what's going on in the news, because the AI that we're seeing today is probably not going to be the same as next year. They're talking about a Chat GPT 5. Chat GPT 5 is supposed to be consciousness, right? Like right now, there is no consciousness. Everything is trained on whatever data that you put inside of the platform. And now they're saying Chat GPT 5, they will be able to make its own decisions. So like that's going to be like next level.
When you mean consciousness, what does that mean?
Well, we're humans, right? So, there's certain thoughts and things that we can generate without prompting. Whereas with the computer, you have to give it specific directions and specific, a knowledge base of previous content for it to generate its ideas. So now they're saying that they're going to create a version where it doesn't have to depend on existing content and it can come up with its own.
So it can think on its own.
Yes.
And what version are we on right now?
We're on 4 right now. They said 5 is going to have another level. So, and I'm predicting 5 is going to come out in the next couple of, probably within this next year. Another big update, I would say, is the Chat GPT store. So they're going to have a GPT store where people can sell their own custom GPTs. I just did a workshop recently to teach people how to create a custom GPT. And those are going to be game changers as well. You can create a custom GPT specifically for your business, or if you are looking to monetize it, you can also create one for people to be able to buy eventually in their GPT store.
Okay, a GPT store. Now, is that like Amazon or?
It's kind of like, how like Apple has like their app store.
Okay, app store.
I would liken it to an Apple app store.
But you'll be able to create your own Chat GPT.
Mm-hmm.
So that person has to upload all this data into their own individual Chat GPT.
Yeah, because right now how Chat GPT works is it's pretty much, depending on the last time that they pulled data from the internet. I think April of 2023 is the most recent update of everything that they've done. Mm-hmm. So with the custom GPT, you're training it with your own data. So you upload your own data, you give it its own set of instructions, and that does a specific task. So for example, in my business, I have an interview GPT where it will generate custom interview questions based on my client, but I train it giving it certain prompts. So it only generates interview questions that are similar to things that I would have done if I had did it by hand.
Oh, okay. So what about, I think Bard, then there's Genesis.
There's a lot of them. It's hard to keep up now because they're popping up like every day.
Okay. So what about when you're online and the little thing will pop up in the corner? Now that's a chat bot?
Yeah, so a chat bot, and it's kind of complicated, but there's a GPT and then there are chatbots, but chatbots can also become GPTs. Like you can pull data from your GPT to put into a chatbot. So chatbots are typically what we have been seeing, right? So if you go to a website and if you want to get like customer service, it's a bot. Like sometimes it's a human, but a lot of times people have automated it to where they're able to spit out answers based on pre-designed questions. So you could click on a question like, when is my shipping coming? And if you click it, it'll give you an automatic answer. So those are the chat bots. Now, chat bots are going to be definitely a wave of the future too. People have already started to use it, but I think small businesses will miss out by not using those as an opportunity. I've started to implement chat bots into my website for my children's book, and it's helped tremendously just in terms of collecting email addresses, helping recover sales and things like that.
So for the average person, they just need to hire you.
Yeah, I mean they can, or you know, like
Because
I
I mean, you talk about building your own chat bot.
it's not as hard as it's not as hard as you think.
Oh.
I use an app called Tdio. Tdio is a really great chat bot. Like they take you through step by step. Zapier, if you guys are familiar with Zapier, it is a website that connects two different websites and make it speak to one another. Zapier also has chat bots that you can import into your website. I just started playing with that the other day and it was very simple to use. So you just have to find the right platforms that complement your learning style and your level of comfort with technology. I'll say that. I think, you know, every platform isn't for everyone. You just have to find the right ones that fit you.
Yeah, we just need to reach out to you. And what's the name of your business again?
And my business is called Speakerizing.
And you can help people with all that. Now, when you talk about the chat bot, but don't you have to integrate that into your website?
Yes, you do. So if you're not a web savvy person, it could be scary. But if you're using simple sites like Wix and Squarespace, you can put it in embed code and it can be very easy. But you know,
if you know what
if
embed code
if you know
is.
what you're doing, even if you know what that is. I know that's a foreign language for a lot of people.
Yes.
But it can be easy. It just depends on how you want to learn. That's all.
Okay. So once again, so if people want to reach out to you, they just need to go to which website again?
So for those who are in Dayton, if you are a starting business, you're starting from ground zero, you're trying to figure it out, please make sure you check out the Greater West Dayton Incubator at thegwdi.com. If you're an established business and if you're looking for digital marketing services, I have my own personal business, which is speakerizing.com. So please be sure to reach out.
What's your Facebook and Instagram?
If you want to reach out to me directly, it's just Whitney L. Barkley. It's Whitney L. Barkley anywhere. If you want to follow my business pages, it's just Speakerizing, but I'm more active on Whitney L. Barkley.
Okay, so that's all your platforms, TikTok?
Everything. Whitney L. Barkley, every platform.
Okay, they want to follow you. Okay. Well, you have given us a lot of information today. I hope people were taking notes. But we are taping it, and Whitney will help me to transcribe this so we can get it out to the people with all the different links and websites and platforms that you talked about today. Because unlike you, I think you were talking a foreign language to most of us today.
It's okay.
I've learned quite a bit since I went to your workshop. That's been like a month ago? 6 weeks?
That was in November.
In November. So I did a lot of research on AI myself, and actually I think I tried to play with some of those websites and different things. It got a little frustrated. I have been using Chat GPT. I actually used it to answer questions for grants. So I was learning how to prompt it, and I put the question in, I put my resume in, I told it to respond to the question using my resume, and it wrote a very nice detailed response.
It's a game changer.
It is. It's intense. I've actually used it to write emails for me, searching things. And then I watched videos where I did some add-ons to the Chat GPT, so it syncs to the internet. So it's pulling in real time. And then I added some stuff to my email account, and yeah, I have a lot of different things popping up I'm trying to get used to. But after your workshop, it really got me to investigate, try to learn more about what AI is. Because I've listened to several other podcasts and found out that AI has been around for a while. It's just now
it's more accessible now.
Yeah, because like Google is AI.
Yeah, Google is AI, your Siri is AI. I mean, we use AI. I mean, even down to Netflix, that algorithm where they're
Yes.
suggesting movies to you, all artificial intelligence. Now it's just accessible and you don't have to have a coding background to leverage it.
Yeah, so it's very interesting.
So can you tell us a little bit about your book? One of the listeners off the air was at work and needed to know if you could share a little bit about your book and how did you come up with the title?
Sure. If it's okay, I performed the book as a spoken word, and I think it will allow people to understand it a little bit better. Is that okay?
Of course.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Black girl. No matter who you are, whether big or small, you are more than enough and can have it all. The world may say, you're too this or you're too that. Put those kicks away. You're too big to have a snack. Give it to her. She needs meat on her bones. Put some clothes on, girl. Your body is too grown. Add some heat to your hair. It's way too kinky. Make it long and straight, and then you'll be pretty. Shh, be quiet. You're way too loud. Stay in the box we put you in and don't make a sound. Hey, Black girl. Want to change that chocolate skin? Ready to change everything on the outside so you forget who you are within? Forget those dreams of becoming something, because the way the world is set up, your life means nothing. Hey, Black girl, did I say too much? I thought you were built to steal, superwoman, and can't be touched. Hey, world, shush. Shh. I am more than enough. My body is fine the way that it is, whether I'm big, skinny, or thick. I don't look to you to be beautiful because my confidence is a bliss. I love every kink, coil, and curl in my hair. I wear it like a crown because my style is rare. I would never be quiet because what I say matters. I will be seen and heard, nonetheless, or the latter. Hey, world, my skin is so rich, it makes me feel wealthy. I would never change a thing about myself. I was born to be the best me. My dreams are on a pavement, a Black girl in motion. My life matters, no matter your emotions. Hey, Black girls, no matter who you are, whether big or small, you are more than enough and can absolutely have it all.
Wow.
Hercules, Hercules.
She said Hercules.
Hercules.
Wow, that gave me chills.
Thank you.
That gave me chills. What an amazing spoken word.
Yeah.
And what inspired you to be so passionate about your thrust to share about the importance of accepting who you are as a Black girl?
Well, I think accepting who I am has been a lifelong journey, still a journey. And I think one of the things that you think when you're a kid is like, when you get to be an adult, you're going to have everything figured out. And the reality is we don't. We're always consistently growing. And for me, it was really important for me to write Hey, Black Girl. I wrote it during the pandemic. I was going through a divorce. I was a full-time entrepreneur at that time. And, at that time, it was like everything felt chaotic. I couldn't just sit and process. And so I had went to a conference in Las Vegas and I heard a seminar about writing a children's book. And I'm like, that would be so cool if I could do something, but I can't come up with anything. But I was literally thinking about it all night. And then I woke up at 7:00 in the morning in my hotel room and it was like, Hey, Black girl. And I'm like, oh, what is this? And so I just kept writing at it. And by the time I got to that first session of the next day's conference, I had completed it and then I had illustrated it. And my goal was to get it done by my 30th birthday. So I wrote it, launched it on my 30th birthday. And, it was very monumental for me. Going through my divorce, it made me reflect on just being younger. And I'm like, man, there are things that I'm doing in my adulthood that, like my younger me wouldn't be proud of me. Like, what are things that, I wish that I had heard growing up, or what is that words or those encouragement pieces that I needed? And so I thought about everything the world had told me. And then I told myself I was no longer going to be bound by what the world had said about me. So, Hey, Black Girl was really my declaration and my love letters to girls to know that they are more than enough. They can have it all, but to most importantly, know how to use their voice. There was an article recently on LinkedIn about how women, particularly Black women, in our lifetime, when we don't use our voice, we lose out on pay, we lose out on being in unhealthy relationships. There are so many things that we tolerate because we're not speaking up and saying the things that we want. So I figure if we can get young girls to recognize their worth early and to learn how to use their voices at an early age, we'll grow a better generation of women who can know how to speak for themselves and to love and value themselves as well.
All right. Well, okay. So my question to you, so you said you came up with this idea, you illustrated it, and you wrote it. What did you do to illustrate it? I mean, what software was that?
When I first did it, I used graphic design software, so I used Canva, but then I was like, I need to learn how to draw. So I bought an iPad and I taught myself to draw. So at one point in time, I was actually making stationery. Like I made custom stationery for people. I would draw it, and then people would buy the stationery off my website. But I realized that that's a part of me that I don't want to try to sell or to profit from. Like that's something that I just solely love for myself. So, I learned how to draw the character. I actually have another book. So, Hey Black Boy, I partnered with a gentleman named Larry Carey out of Columbus, Ohio. He's an educator. And he was like, Whit, like, we have to have the boy version of the book. Like, the boys need love too. So, I partnered with him. He wrote the male version of the book, and I illustrated the character for his book. So, this is really just a labor of love for me to, just have something for myself. I've never really been the artistic person, but this is something that I just enjoy to do.
So then how do you do the publishing part? What platforms?
The publishing wasn't that bad. So when you write a book, there's a couple things that you want to do. Of course, you want to make sure that you have a vision and an outline for the book. You write the content. And then secondly, you want to make sure that you have someone who can edit, not just someone who's looking for grammatical errors, but you want someone to read it and say, okay, this is age appropriate for children. Or if you're targeting a certain age group, this is the, the best age group that you need to do. The second thing, once your book is edited, you want to copyright it. So I went through the U.S. Copyright office and was able to copyright my work. I copywrote both the character and the content for the book. And so the next piece of that is finding a publishing platform. Anyone can self-publish. So I self-published my book on Amazon. So if you go to Amazon, Amazon will allow you to publish the book. You can buy a barcode, typically what you'll see on the back of the book, and an ISBN number, or you can go to a website like Valkers. You can purchase your own ISBN and barcode. I believe I purchased mine through Valkers and then I put it on Amazon, but you can do it either way. But you can self-publish on Amazon, and once you publish the book on Amazon, they will distribute and create the book for you. So you don't have to mail anything from your house to send it directly for you. But I will caution authors that, Amazon is a great platform for exposure, but from a profit standpoint, you don't make as much money. They take like 60% of your profit. So the best thing to do is to find a printer who can print the books at a low cost. So that way you're able to truly profit from the book. So that would be my word of advice.
But you can start with, so you can get Amazon to print it and then take the book to a printer?
So Amazon, if you don't want to like deal with it, so it's kind of like drop shipping. So if you want Amazon, if you can upload your book on their platform, and then let's say you buy my book on Amazon. So when you buy the book, Amazon will, take what I've uploaded, they will print it and make it a physical copy, and they will mail it to your home. But then, the next month I'll get my royalties from that sale. Whereas if I sell it, what I would do is I would go to a printer, get my author copies, and then I would sell it on my website where I would ship it directly to you. Or if I go to like a vendor event, or if you happen to see me out and I got some in the back of my car, I'll sell it to you directly. But ultimately, it's usually more profitable for authors to sell their own books versus selling on Amazon. Amazon is really good. Like if you have a huge platform, like if you're Oprah or Michelle Obama, like it could be fine because you're going to have millions of people who are accessing your titles. But if you're like the average Joe, or if you're someone who's a small business, it's good for exposure. But I would try to aim for the majority of my sales to come from, me actually selling the book versus the platform.
Okay. So it's several steps, and you're working with another gentleman, and you're going to do a co-book, or?
Yeah, so we've already it's already done. We're having a launch party in January in Columbus. January 21st will be in Columbus to launch Hey Black Boy. So that is going to be a really great opportunity for him. I'm excited because again, like my overall goal with this Hey Black Girl, Hey Black Boy series, like I see this as something that anyone can be a part of. Regardless of your race, I think we all hear messages about who we should be and what we should be. And my goal is to partner with diverse authors to come up with other Hey series, right? So, I want to partner with someone who's maybe Afro-Latina, maybe someone who has a disability. Like I had a dream the other day that I learned how to do Hey Black Girl in sign language. Like I want to do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I think the possibilities are endless, but I know that I'm the start. I know that whatever I do with Hey Black Girl will dictate the success of others who are going to come. So that's my goal.
So if they wanted to reach out with you to be part of this book series, how could they contact you?
They can reach out at heyblackgirlbook.com.
Okay. And then could they reach out through your other
For
platforms?
sure, I'm very active on social media, so you can always find me on social.
Under what?
Whitney L. Barkley.
Okay.
Hey Black Girl Book too. That's also there.
Hey Black Girl Book 2 is on what platform?
Oh, Hey Black Girl Book. Hey
Oh.
Black Girl. Hey Black Girl Book is on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
Okay. Hey Black Girl
Book.
Book.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, someone already took Hey Black Girl outside of the book. Again.
Oh, okay. So they can find you on multiple platforms, but if they just want if they just type in Whitney Barkley on any platform, they should be able to reach you as
Whitney
well.
L. Barkley. Yep,
Whitney L.
Yeah,
Barkley.
there's another Whitney Barkley. I think she does student loans in the government.
Okay. All right.
Just
So
watch
Whitney L. Barkley. Okay. So back to we were talking about AI and you were talking about so we're on Chat GPT 4
Mhm.
and you said Chat GPT 5 will be conscious.
Yes.
Which means it will be able when you say consciousness, does that mean like okay, say let me give it a prompt. Chat GPT, find me hotels with hot tubs. What would the answer be different if it's
Well,
conscious?
the answer would probably be the same. When we say consciousness, now I want to be scary, and I don't even know if it's going to go to that extreme, but the closest example that I can come to that, if you ever seen that Will Smith movie, I, Robot?
Yes.
Yeah. Like I, Robot level. Like hopefully they don't take over the world or anything, but I think that's the level of consciousness that they're aiming for. I, Robot level consciousness.
Oh, but I mean, I know the fear with AI and robots is that robots would take over the world, like in iRobot and other movies where the robot decides that we're bad and they want to kill us all because they say we're bad people. So, I mean, do you think they will ever get to that level of or power per se?
Well, given the way that AI is going, like right now, AI is like super unregulated. You know, they just passed the first like executive order for major AI companies to alert the government if there are certain, you know, things that are happening that could come up on the horizon. The problem is the technology is moving faster than the law. So I think there will be laws. I think we're going to see more laws come in place next year. But again, I don't think the laws are at the same pace as the people who are actually developing the technology. So I'm not saying that by the time something like that happens, it'll be too late, but it's a big possibility to me because I don't think they're moving at the same pace.
Kind of like with cryptocurrency.
Yeah, it's very, very much so. I mean, you know, it's heavily unregulated. I mean, they're trying to regulate it as much as possible, but I think the laws have to be changed so the laws can be expedited if they want to keep up with the technology.
Which they're not.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. But you know, it just depends. You know, I think the person because ChatGPT is really kind of leading the charge on artificial intelligence. A lot of those sites that you were naming earlier, a lot of them are based on ChatGPT or they're using ChatGPT to like power what it is that they're doing. So, you know, hopefully the makers of ChatGPT have a moral conscience or moral compass and they want to do things that will benefit mankind rather than take away from it. But you know, you just never know. We don't know where this thing is going to go. That's why I just encourage people to get involved now to have a better understanding. Like there's a lot of chatter about like Chat GPT taking over people's jobs. Like I don't think Chat GPT or AI is going to take over people's jobs, but I think what will happen is people will prioritize people who are using AI versus people who are not.
So you need to have that as a skill set.
Yes, I think that's just a necessary skill set. I was talking to a colleague the other day. She does career services, and she was talking about how she wants to use ChatGPT to help the students improve their resumes and LinkedIn profile because she fears that they're going to be left behind if they don't get that skill. And even for me, like I teach, you know, I teach at a collegiate level. I show my students how to use ChatGPT. I tell them like, hey, like, you know, I could sit here and pretend that you guys are not going to use it. I know you're going to use it. So let me show you how to use it ethically. So when you
what
are
do you
using
teach?
it, I teach a business class. So it's called New Venture Creations.
Is that a UD?
Yeah, it's a UD course. So I teach a business class there. And we did a whole lesson on Chat GPT and AI. The students did a case study recently about how other major companies are utilizing AI, and they had to do a reflection on what they could potentially want to do with their businesses as well.
So when you say you can upload your resume and get it Chat GPT to. So what would the prompt be for that?
Um,
Like, so
You
I
can-
have my
so you-
resume in Word.
I got you.
Yeah.
So you would upload it. So you can upload your resume if you have Chat GPT 4. You should be able to upload a file. And the prompt would be pretend that you are, y'all hear me typing, pretend that you are a professional resume writer and you come across a resume for Dr. Tanisha Richmond. Dr. Richmond owns the Foot and Ankle Clinic in Dayton, Ohio, and she is seeking speaking engagements and wants to tailor her resume to reflect the speaking engagements that she's looking for, specifically in the areas of X, Y, and Z. Please provide recommendations on how this resume can be improved to meet her goal of getting more speaking engagements. And so it'll analyze your resume, and it may and sometimes it'll tell you like, hey, this is what you need to change, but a lot of times it'll just make those changes for you.
Oh, and it'll redo your resume and give it back.
Yeah, I've had friends, I used to do resume writing a long time ago. So I've had friends who are like, can you help me do my resume? So that's what I've been doing. I've been running everybody's resumes through Chat GPT based on whatever objective that they're looking for employment.
Because I did watch some video on learning how to prompt Chat GPT.
And that's important. What she's talking about, the prompt engineering is key.
Yeah, what you said, I would have never said all that.
Yeah.
I would have just said, fix my resume.
But in my opinion, I believe that those who are using Chat GPT and who are serious about the prompt engineering, I think the prompt engineering is going to make us better communicators, because if you don't know how to talk to it, you're not going to get the right results.
Yes.
So you almost have to be very intentional every time that you're prompting.
Okay. Yeah, you did that in your workshop because you were talking to it like it was a person. You even told it thank you.
I did. You gotta be kind to the technology, so when they take over, they're not taking me.
Oh, okay. That's like, she told that computer thank you. What's that about?
They will remember my gratitude.
Oh, they remember her. Okay. So your class at UD, is that an elective course or
No,
just...
it's a core course as a part of our entrepreneurship program.
Oh, you have an entrepreneurship at
we
UD?
have an entrepreneurship major. So University of Dayton, I believe we're ranked number 38 out of 100 for Midwest schools that teach entrepreneurship. So we're inside of the Princeton Review. It's a pretty competitive program, so it's pretty good.
So do you also teach for like MBAs as well?
No, I don't teach any MBA classes.
So just undergrad. But there's an undergrad degree of entrepreneurship.
Yep, inside of the School of Business.
Oh, so is that a major or a minor?
It's a major, so entrepreneurship major. So people are coming to learn how to become entrepreneurs. Like, it's a lot of cool things. Like, the students, they can do a capstone where they advise companies. There was a class that I taught called Management 220. A colleague of mine teaches it now, where the students, they have an opportunity to run their own business for 2 semesters. So they pitch an idea, they get a group of students. The university gives them a seed investment into their startup. They get to create their own business, and then at the end of the semester, they close the business.
Oh.
And typically with the funds, if they do make any profits from the business, they typically donate it to a local nonprofit.
Oh, okay. And that's all through the undergrad degree. Okay. I didn't even know that was a real degree.
Oh, yeah, it's a thing. And more, because entrepreneurship is popular, and as more people are getting into it, I think universities are recognizing that they can't really ignore it. Like, because most of the time when you go to school for business, it's teaching you to go to like a corporate setting, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily how to start your own business, but they know that more students are getting into entrepreneurship. Even with DPS, like, I had a conversation, like, they did a study at Dayton Public Schools, and entrepreneurship was like one of the top 3 things that students were interested in. So colleges definitely have to be attuned to that and making sure that they're tailoring their curriculum to meet people where they are.
Okay. So can the high school kids take your course? Like, I know some of the high schools are letting them take college courses.
So we actually have a program, and we have to see if we're running it. We ran it this year. So we have a program called Discover ENT, where students can essentially take 2 weeks, but they can do a whole course in 2 weeks. It's kind of like entrepreneurship 101. We call it Biz 201. They take 2 weeks for a curriculum, and then they're able to receive college credit in addition to actually potentially getting a scholarship to UD. So there's a pitch competition at the end, and depending on where they rank in the pitch competition, dictates how much money they're able to get for the program.
So if they wanted to apply to that, how do they apply? Is that through the school?
State Incubator. So we facilitate that program. So myself and my associate director, we both facilitate that program.
And they would reach you through the website?
Yep, so they can go to the gwdi.com, or they can also reach out to the University of Dayton website too, and they can be directed.
Okay. And that's once a year?
So we just relaunched it this year. So we did it this year. Hopefully if there's interest, maybe next year we're able to do that. But I know this year we're planning to do some things with Dayton Public Schools. So we'll definitely be more into the schools if they're a Dayton Public School student. We do a lot of work with DECA too.
With
so
DECA?
we definitely do a lot of work at DECA High School, but our goal this year is to really increase our relationship with Dayton Public Schools.
Oh, okay. It's so much going on in the city.
I know. Can't keep up.
No, you cannot. So when you spoke at Central State, you were speaking through the Urban League or
Yep.
for the Urban League.
Mhm.
So if they want to reach out to the Urban League, can they just go over to the building, or do you know?
So the best contact for the Urban League that I have is Etsy Shelton. If you reach out to me, I can give you guys her information as well. She is in charge of all things business through the Urban League. So she's, running the planning and help facilitate the planning that they're doing. And the Urban League has some amazing programs for entrepreneurs. They do their workshop series. They have a program with Pepsi where they work with food entrepreneurs. They have a retail program, because our Urban League is connected to the Urban League in Cincinnati. So people from Dayton have access to some of those programs as well.
So you said Etsy Shelton?
Yep, Etsy Shelton.
Okay. And if they want to, they can reach out to you.
Yes,
to get her information.
Anyone, any of the partners that I listed earlier, Urban League, Entrepreneur Center, Launch Dayton, the MBAC, Dayton Area Chamber of Commerce, any of those individuals, if people are looking to get into the entrepreneurship ecosystem, I'm definitely here to help you connect and get connected with the right folks.
Because I actually work with Etsy on getting a grant this past year. So do you know anything about the MBE versus the WBE versus EDGE and all the different certifications?
So what you're referring to are business certifications. So typically when you're trying to get government or corporate contracts, people want to know if you are certified. So are you a certified minority business, a certified women-owned business? Sometimes they have one for disadvantaged businesses as well. And really, it's just a process that you go through. There are some cities who offer it. So like the city of Dayton, if you go through the Human Relations Council, you can get certified with the city of Dayton to do city of Dayton specific things. You can get certified through the state of Ohio, which I believe is through the Ohio Department of Development. So they have something called an MBAC, which is run through our local area chamber of commerce. So if you go to Jelani Johnson, he's the director of the MBAC here for Dayton. He's here in Dayton, but I believe they cover 12 different counties. So if you're outside of the city of Dayton and if you fall under one of their counties, you are able to get a certification. Now, people always ask, how long does it take to get certified? The certification is really contingent on how much of your information you have available up front. I think that's usually what holds people up. So making sure that you have like your business plan, financial documents. There's about 13 or 14 different things that they request in order for you to get certified. But once you go through that process, they will go through your paperwork. I know sometimes there's typically an interview that goes with that, but once you get that certification, it really opens the doors for you to do bigger contracts. So bigger contracts with corporations and government entities. You also mentioned the women-based certifications. There's one called WeBank. There's a couple of different ones, but I know WeBank is something that's very credible. I know they're located in Cincinnati. I believe there's also one in Columbus as well, but you can get connected with WeBank for a women-owned business certification. There is a cost associated with that certification, but from what I understand, it's been well worth it to a lot of businesses because it's really a marketing strategy, right? So to say that you're certified, again, it opens the doors for people who are specifically looking for people with those specific certifications.
All right. So we're going to transcribe this later and put it up and list all the different things that you have said today, because you have given out a plethora of information, which is very exciting. And I think the main thing the best thing they should do is reach out to that website that you mentioned earlier, where they can schedule a time to come in and talk with you.
Yes, yeah. If you come through the GWDI, again, I'm so happy to connect. Like that's really my purpose and my job for being here.
Yeah.
I just want people to get connected because business sometimes feel like you have to do it by yourself and there's no one around you, but there are a ton of resources that have been created here in Dayton, and I just want you all to be connected.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on today, Whitney. Whitney L. Barkley. She is the director of GWI School of Business Administration. She is at the Greater West Dayton Incubator at 1105 West 3rd Street, Dayton, Ohio, 45402, across the street from the food court. And what's the official name?
The West Social Tab.
West Social Tab. And the website to get in touch with her is thegwi.com.
GWDI.
DI.com to reach out to her and ask her any follow-up questions from today. And thank you so much for listening today. Again, this is Dr. Tanisha Richmond. I am at the Richmond Foot and Ankle Clinic at the 1323 West 3rd Street inside the Charles R. Drew Health Center. We are open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We close 12 to 1. You can also call us at 937-228-3668. You can also text us at that number as well. You can also reach out to me through my website, richfeet.org, to send us information to schedule a patient. And you can also Google Richmond Foot and Ankle Clinic and contact the office as well. We are currently accepting new patients, accepting most insurances. So if you ever have a question about what we accept and what we don't accept, you can always call or text 937-228-3668 or visit richfeet.org.
We hope you enjoyed today's show with Dr. Richmond, sponsored by the Richmond Foot and Ankle Clinic. The clinic is located at 1323 West 3rd Street in Dayton, Ohio. Zip code 45402. To book an appointment, call 937-228-3668, or you can learn more at richfeet.org.